What's up, Rude Girls? My name is Zahra Habib, and I'm here with the lovely ladies at Wortley Flowers and Filthy Rebena Vintage. We're here for our Front Women event and just giving you a sneak preview of what's to come with this amazing new business that's opening up locally by two of our favorite rude gals. So, ladies, how are we doing today?
Doing really well.
Doing great.
Okay, so tell me the origin story of Filthy Rebena Vintage, because even though we're here to celebrate Wortley Flowers, people know the two of you, at least up until now, as the co-founders of one of London's best vintage clothing stores, Filthy Rebena. So can you tell us the origin story of that?
Yeah, I think that we've had Filthy Rebena as a business now since 2012. Is that right? 2011? Sure.
Yeah. We are coming up on 10 years.
Right,
in November.
yes. Yeah, in November will be our 10-year anniversary. 6 years here in London, so that's still pretty great. But Dar and I met in Toronto at another vintage company that we worked for. So we were stylists and photographers for a company called Beyond Retro, which is based in the UK. And then they had huge company layoffs. We both got laid off and started our own Etsy site. And yeah, we liked each other so much that we wanted to do it together. And yeah, that's the history of it.
Okay, very nice. So you guys got along together, you liked each other. Was that what made you want to be business partners together? Or was there an added element about like a same creative vision? You guys had the same interests, or maybe you complemented each other in different ways. What made you want to be business partners?
I think we definitely complemented each other, I would say. We had the same vision for, I guess, like the grand scheme of things. But yeah, we definitely aren't the same person, so compliments for sure.
Yeah, I think Natalie has more of the entrepreneur spirit in her. And I remember when we weren't even laid off yet, we would sit down at your table and Nat would be like, let's plan our future business. And I was just like along for the ride because I really enjoyed hanging out with Nat. And it was always a lot of fun. So I was like, oh yeah, we'll be business partners. Sure.
That's so funny, yeah. Yeah, so I was just hanging out, just like to smoke on the back deck a lot.
That's nice. So then, so Filthy Rebena is going for 10 years now. And now you've got this beautiful second location in Wortley after being on Dundas for so long. And here you got something else. You have a garden and a whole lot of flowers. So what's the origin story of Wortley Flowers?
This is a much newer thing, but Dar's been into gardening now for 2 years, 3 years. When did you join the Master Gardeners?
I joined the Master Gardeners, I think about 3 years ago. And to be like, it's just the Master Gardeners is nothing but a fancy name for a garden club that's here in London. They're all over the world, actually. And in London, to be a Master Gardener, you have to go to horticulture school. So they sent me to school. They pay for your schooling, which is really awesome. So I learned about horticulture for the last couple of years and have always been into growing vegetables. And then Natalie and I have we have a lot of products that we carry in the shop and these products, like, they're farmers. And so we were checking out their farms and we're like, we could do something kind of like that. Mm-hmm. And I think that
it felt so good visiting other people's farms. Yeah. We're like, wow, this feels amazing. It's a great feeling to be working out in nature. So sorry to cut you off there.
Oh, no, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah. And we wanted to expand and get another location. And when we saw this space, we were like, oh my gosh, here's our flower farm.
Yeah. We didn't even know that this store had the backyard when we were coming to look at the space to rent. And then he just mentioned, like, last minute, he's like, oh yeah, and there's a backyard, do you want to see it? And we're like, yeah, of course. And then he opened the door to this huge yard that was just a field of grass. And right away we were both like, oh my gosh, we can actually do like a flower farm, because we were talking about a flower farm for a while. Yeah. Dar wanted to go into flowers, so not just vegetables, but yeah. So it just like totally worked out like so naturally for us.
Yeah.
What do you guys admire most about working with each other?
Admire most.
Well, let me start. Okay. Like I said before, Nat has that sense of adventure which I really admire about her. Like when we first met, she would just invite me to crazy places that I've never been to, like meet at this intersection, downtown Toronto, like, and I'm from a really small town, so to like do that was really neat to me. And then we like traveled together, and it's just always so much fun. It's just a blast. And you're not even adventurous in travel sense, like it's in business, like let's do this, let's do that, let's move, let's shake. It's really cool for me because I like to go down the rabbit hole, but like I said earlier, I'm a little cautious. So it's nice to have that adventurous spirit in my life. Yeah, and I think too, you're really accepting of people. Like I always felt like kind of like an odd duck. And I think like people feel really comfortable, and yeah, I like how you accept people.
Thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
That's so nice. That's funny because I was going to say the same thing about her. Like Dar, let's just fan out. Dar makes everybody feel really special, and I really love that about her. So, yeah, it's like just a really nice characteristic of Dar, and kind of the same thing. Like I felt like an odd duck too, and she's very accepting. So I guess we just meshed well in that sense.
Gosh. Okay, so one year, like early on into our relationship, Nat gave me a birthday card, and it was like, "Happy birthday, weird girl." And I was so offended. I was like, "Oh, I'm not weird, Nat." And you're like, "Dar, you are weird. I'm weird. It's all good." And I was like, "Oh," like it was very accepting sort of feeling, like
So
I belong here. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah. Thanks for that card.
No problem. Yeah, but also just like Dar's very back to the characteristics that I think are great about you. Sorry, I'm going back to it. You're just so like optimistic, and that's what I love about working with Dar. And because sometimes I'm not that optimistic, but yeah. So I think that helps like with our yin and yang type of thing for sure, and so reliable. Which is like reliable and real, I would say, which is really great characteristics to have in a business partner for sure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that in mind, what, according to your local environment, the community around you, what informs the business decisions that you make?
I think we're always in tune with the environment. Every business decision we make is based on helping the environment.
Yeah, it's almost
Really.
like a global community, in a sense with we're always aware of what's happening in the world, and our business has always been trying to like reverse the bad things that are happening to the earth and like not create more waste. And with this flower farm, in that sense, I think it goes with that as well. Like it's so good to have like all these natural wildflowers and a mix of flowers back here. Like it helps with the biodiversity. Yeah, so in that sense, like I always think of it as like a global community almost with our business, just trying to help the earth. And then for the local community, just like we always love bringing people together. Hence why we're doing something like this. Like we love collabing. I think it only strengthens your business. So definitely bringing people together is always fun.
I mean, recycled clothing, vintage, you're growing flowers in here. Yeah, it's most definitely something that I know just from observing your business that you make very clear is a principle. It's a value that Filthy Rebena and Wortley Flowers carries very strongly, to be helpful for the environment and to not cause more waste, especially if it's not necessary. And it was something...
Yeah, I think putting back into the community too, because when you support Filthy Rebena Vintage or Wortley Flowers, like we're putting that profit back into the community as well. Like we're buying from our neighbors or,
Yeah, and we're hiring awesome staff from London, like a like-minded community. So it is really great.
Yeah, so we're always thinking about sustainability.
Everything's circular, kind of.
In terms of the economy, society, and the environment, for sure.
So what are the biggest lessons that you learned this past year? And it can be either business, personal, whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah, I guess like in the last year with COVID, just like, I guess the biggest lesson for me would be just taking time to actually go into things a little slower, and maybe like not having like that scarcity mindset with anything. Like don't jump into things with a fear-based or scarcity-based mindset, and to take your time with things. You don't have to rush into things. Like, I think before we all had to experience like the lockdown, we were all rushing around, and I think everybody was so much more busy, but it's like, was that a productive busyness? Like, did it actually serve any of us? So definitely to slow down and be wise with your actions.
Yeah, it's so funny because I feel like the yin to your yang right now, because I was going to say, for me, it's to push forward. Like, I remember the first month of COVID, I was really slowing down, and I remember, like, we were both, like, kind of took off for a month or a couple of weeks, and Nat was like, okay, I'm going to start selling clothes on Instagram. Like, we got to do something here. And I'm like, fine, go ahead. And then I'm like, I'm taking it easy. And you're like, go ahead, take it easy, whatever. And then you're like, Dar, we have deliveries. Like, people are buying clothes and they're not trying them on. And I was like, oh my gosh. So we just kept moving with things. And then it just opened more doors. Like, we landed this place, and we were trying to find a place in Wortley for a very, very long time.
And that was because of like community too. Like Catherine from Impressions told us about this space. Yeah. So we wouldn't have even known about this space. Like, we were looking for a space for a long time just with like real estate agents, but like it was just a neighbor that let us know about this space. So that's really great. Yeah. Did you have more to?
Yeah, and then just like growing in terms of expanding, like starting this business, it's like you have to keep moving. Even like I felt so low, so down, my mental health was so bad, and to have you like kind of pull me out of that and be like, you gotta move and shake. It was like a good lesson in like you have to keep growing and moving. And
I have something to add to that. Another thing to add to that, like that I learned probably before COVID even, but like, you just have to move with what's handed to you. So like, you can't be like swimming upstream a river, like it's pushing you one way, and like it just naturally pushed us to sell online, and it's like, how do we do that? We got to work with it. So everything that we do, it's not like we're fighting against emotion. It's like you're working with the direction that you're supposed to go, and things just come so much more easily.
Yeah, I have to say, you ladies really adapted extremely well to what happened in the last 2 years with taking everything online. You just had a really great integration of an online selling component and utilizing social media for marketing and for promotions, and also just being fun and, you know, being yourselves. Right. You know, you could see a lot of yourselves in all the work that you were doing.
Part of it too. You have to be yourself.
Right.
You have to be yourself. That's a really big part of it, I find.
Yeah, yeah.
Magic just happens when you're yourself.
Exactly. And as you said, you know, between being yourself and accepting what's being given to you, not swimming against the stream, but just surrendering to your circumstances and making the best out of it. It's amazing what happens, you know, without even, like, did you ever envision something like this?
No.
That was a no.
I would say you did a little.
Well, you know, it's in the back of your head, but like I never envisioned having the store and having a shed where you can work on flowers and having a garden gate where people can just pop in. I never kind of envisioned that. I kind of, like, my vision was a little more like alone, and like that was kind of what was in the back of my mind. So this is super cool. It's so great. Yeah. The more the merrier. Yeah.
It is really great. Like, we got a great spot in Wortley Village too, like being in the center of the strip. Like, we couldn't have asked for a better spot. So, yeah, we're so grateful. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, congratulations, ladies, again. We're all so happy for you here at Rue Girls, and so thankful to be collaborating with you for Front Women, because all the work that you do in the community and the culture that you bring, what you create, is really something that nobody else in London is doing. You know, you guys are truly front women in the city. That's truly.
Nice. That's so nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, without a doubt, you know. So thank you again, and congratulations on this beautiful farm. And there is one more question that Denise wanted to ask. And that is, how do you want to be buried?
Ooh.
That's so funny. This is our favorite question. That's so funny. Well, we always joke about this, so I guess I always say that I want to have like arms full of bangles, So then when pirates find my skeletons, I'm like adorned in, jewelry, and then hopefully they'll strap me to the front of a boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. And it's so funny, I'm wearing this blue ring that I used to wear in the early 2000s, because when I envision myself being buried, I am wearing this ring and I'm just a bag of bones in the ground. Yes. And I'm wearing like a spider web kind of dress. And anyway, when I'm just the bones are found, someone will find this plastic blue ring and wear it themselves and feel just as fabulous.
Lovely. So on that note, we're in a flower farm. We're at Wortley Flowers here with the two wonderful ladies who started this whole thing, Nat and Darlene. Do you guys want to just quickly share how people can find you online, support your business and all that you're doing?
Definitely. You can find us online at Wortley Flowers. That's Instagram. We have a website for Filthy Rebena, and we have an email that is just filthyrebena@gmail.com.
What's our website?
Our website is filthyrebena.com. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest way to contact us, or just come to the store. Yeah. Yeah, stores. Yeah, and just ask for us. We'll meet you. We'll see you.
Just meet me at the farm, 8 a.m.
Yeah, you can find Zahra at 8 a.m. here. Me at 9. Yeah. I'm not as early a riser.
Lovely. Well, thanks so much, ladies. What is happening here on July 31st?
We're going to have our Rude Girls party with you guys, and I'm going to pass it to Dar because she's been talking to all the Wortley businesses that are super excited about this event too, and they're going to stay open with us. So
Yeah, all of the businesses on our block and the block across the street from us are all staying open late. A couple down the way too. So there's a lot of businesses that are like the art gallery is staying open late until 8 p.m. and they're gonna have live painting. Another store, Shay, is having jewelers in the shop and is having a guitar player. She's having hors d'oeuvres. Sidetrack Cafe is staying open late. Everybody's staying open late. Sidetrack is doing ice creams all night. So yeah, a lot of the businesses are so excited about this and have banded together and are just making an entire night market of shopping and drinks and just enjoying and supporting all the local businesses. So thanks to you guys, that is happening. Thanks for getting the ball rolling.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And that's right, folks, you heard it here first. So Wortley Street is going to be turned into a night market on Saturday, July 31st. The party's going to be here. We're going to have live music. The Rude ladies, myself and Harina, are going to be DJing. And the local businesses that are around, whether it's a restaurant, coffee shop, jewelry store, art gallery, are all going to be participating in their own beautiful ways. So if you can, definitely make sure you come out to Wortley Street right here, starting at Wortley Flowers and Filthy Rebena's on July 31st. That's a Saturday. We look forward to seeing you there. Okay. Thank you. Peace out.